Well, here at KVUE, we're monitoring our local power grid conditions in this winter weather. Matt Mitchell, Public Information Officer from Austin Energy, is joining us live to talk about those conditions. Matt, thank you for your time.
Pleasure to be with you as always, Ashley.
You know, first and foremost, did the team at Austin Energy see any outages overnight or today?
Thankfully, we saw a couple of outages, just a handful over the last 24 hours, but no major outages related to this weather at all. And it's a tribute to the men and women who have been on call and on duty over the last 72 hours as we track this storm and its potential effects, that we were prepared and ready to respond to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. Thankfully, we didn't get called out too many times and very few weather related at all.
You know, in order to be at that point where you're not having to go out and not having to respond to a bunch of outages, what did your crews do and what are they doing today to make sure things are going to run smoothly?
Well, first and foremost, we wanted to make sure that we were staffed appropriately, that we had vegetation management crews on standby, that we had troubleshooting crews on standby, line clearing crews on standby, and making sure that we had the people and the personnel, the support staff, and the supplies on hand that we needed. We knew coming into it that this was going to be a fluid event. We've seen what Mother Nature can do on very short notice, certainly in the winters here in Texas. So we wanted to make sure that we as a utility were as prepared as we needed to be. We were heartened by the fact that there was not a lot of ice accumulation forecast for this event, and that held true. Unlike 2 years ago when we were not expected to get a tremendous amount of ice accumulation, and then of course we all know what happened. So this was the kind of event that we prepared for, but also we had a lot of precautions in place. We made sure that our power plants, as mentioned just a moment ago, were fully weatherized, certified as such, and ready to withstand whatever Mother Nature was going to throw at us this time around. But again, we dodged a bullet, and it's always nice when we don't have to respond to a bunch of outages, no matter the cause. So thank you to our community as well for staying off the roads and not causing any reason for a lot of first responders, including our line workers, to be out in this kind of condition.
You know, one of the things you mentioned there from 2 years ago, the vegetation clearing, we learned some very hard lessons 2 years ago when things froze. What have your crews been doing over this time period since then to ensure that there weren't any types of emergencies this time around?
Well, thankfully, our vegetation management program continues to be on schedule to get everything trimmed back to industry standards in the next few years as planned. But most importantly, perhaps, is that we've identified those circuits that are most susceptible during outages or to cause an outage. Those that are more unreliable or underperforming, as we call it, can be for a variety of reasons, whether that needs to be a technology upgrade, some sort of a hardening mechanism, whether that's new conduit, different kinds of fuses, based on the environment that it's in. And because we've been able to isolate those and really concentrate our vegetation management efforts towards those, it's lessened the risk of outages in not only ice storms, but potentially with wildfires. So it's really a double good that this program continues to pursue, but those efforts continue apace, and we've seen the results positively already.
Matt, you know we're expecting temperatures to drop again tonight, which means any water that's left on the ground, anything left over is expected to refreeze. What are your crews doing to get ready?
So again, the staffing continues. We're still on all hands on deck, and we're asking our community, obviously, please make preparations, know where to go in the event that there's an outage. Outages happen for all kinds of different reasons. Certainly when it's life-threatening cold like this, you want to be extra careful to make sure that you have a plan, you know where you can go if there is an extended outage, which again, we don't anticipate, but nevertheless could happen. So make sure you've got a good plan. We'll make sure that our crews are ready to respond quickly and safely to restore power. We've got this. We're almost out of the woods.
All right, sounds good. Matt Mitchell, Public Information Officer for Austin Energy, we thank you for joining us.
Pleasure to be with you.